Every man has within him the ability to raise his value, not through wealth or status alone, but through the habits he cultivates every single day. The world respects consistency, discipline, and strength of character, far more than fleeting appearances. When you choose to stand tall, to take care of your body, to sharpen your mind, and to control your emotions, you send a silent message. You are someone who cannot be easily shaken. True masculinity is not about dominance. It is about mastery, mastery of self, of habits, and of direction. Rising in value is not about proving yourself to others. It is about living in alignment with who you know you can be. Small daily choices, like waking up early, honoring your commitments, speaking with confidence, and carrying yourself with purpose, accumulate into a presence that others cannot ignore. People gravitate toward men who show discipline, clarity, and calm under pressure, because it reflects strength they can rely on. Your value is not in trying to impress, but in becoming impressive. It is in building your health, pursuing excellence in your work, and leading with integrity even when no one is watching. Every habit you form is either building the man you respect or the man you regret. Choose the habits that sharpen your willpower, that build resilience, and that keep your vision alive. Remember this: the respect you seek from others begins with the respect you show yourself. When you commit to growth, when you demand more from yourself than anyone else ever could, you instantly raise your value. The world will notice, but more importantly, you will notice, and that is where true power begins. Value comes from habits. A man raises his worth through consistent discipline, self-mastery, and daily actions rather than wealth or status alone. True masculinity is mastery of self. Strength lies in controlling one's body, mind, and emotions rather than dominating others. Small choices create big impact. Daily habits, like waking early, honoring commitments, and speaking with confidence, build lasting presence and respect. Respect is earned through integrity. Leading with honesty and reliability even when unnoticed elevates personal value. Impress by becoming impressive. Focus on health, excellence, and self-respect instead of seeking validation from others. Growth equals power, demanding more from oneself, and committing to continuous improvement leads to inner strength and outward recognition. Value does not come from material possessions, social titles, or temporary recognition. It comes from the habits a man lives by every day. Habits are the building blocks of character, and character is what truly defines one's worth. When a man commits to discipline, consistency, and purposeful routines, he naturally begins to stand out, not because he is trying to, but because habits shape him into someone dependable, focused, and strong. Wealth can be lost, titles can be taken away, and appearances can fade, but habits remain as the foundation that carries a man forward regardless of circumstances. The small, repetitive actions practiced daily may seem insignificant in the moment, but over time they create an identity that cannot be faked. A man who prioritizes health by exercising and eating well, who develops mental sharpness by reading and learning, and who builds emotional control by responding calmly under pressure, instantly communicates value. People trust such a man because they can see that his discipline is not a performance, it is who he is. In contrast, a lack of strong habits leaves a man at the mercy of external factors. Without self-discipline, he reacts instead of leading, and he drifts instead of directing his path. True growth comes when he realizes that success is not a single achievement, but the result of small, repeated actions that align with his highest standards. Raising value, therefore, is not about what others give you, but about what you repeatedly give yourself through habit. The world respects the man who wakes up with intention, works with discipline, and lives with consistency, because his habits speak louder than any words or possessions ever could. Habits build strength, and strength is the ultimate measure of value. True masculinity is not defined by the ability to dominate others, but by the ability to master oneself. A man who controls his mind, body, and emotions possesses a strength that no external force can easily shake. Mastery of self means understanding impulses, recognizing weaknesses, and choosing discipline over comfort. It is about channeling energy in a purposeful direction rather than being ruled by anger, laziness, or fear. This form of strength is not loud or aggressive. It is calm, steady, and deeply respected. When a man develops mastery of his body, he shows discipline through health, fitness, and presence. His physical condition reflects care and respect for himself, and it naturally inspires confidence in others. Mastery of the mind is shown through focus, clarity, and the refusal to be distracted by unimportant things. A man who thinks deeply and acts with intention becomes a leader in any room, not because he demands authority, but because his stability commands it. Emotional mastery is equally vital. A man who can remain composed in chaos, who does not let anger dictate his actions or fear paralyze his decisions, instantly raises his value. People look to him for guidance and strength because he provides stability when others falter. This is the essence of masculinity, the power to lead oneself before leading others. Domination may create fear, but mastery creates respect. A man who governs himself proves that he is reliable, trustworthy, and prepared for greater responsibility. True masculinity is quiet strength, discipline in action, and wisdom in response. When a man achieves mastery of self, he no longer needs to chase validation. The world naturally recognizes his value. The truth about personal growth is that it does not come from dramatic moments or sudden breakthroughs. It comes from the small choices made consistently every single day. Waking up early instead of sleeping in, choosing discipline over procrastination, honoring promises even when inconvenient, and speaking with confidence instead of hesitation may seem like small actions, but together they form a foundation of strength. These daily decisions create habits, and habits shape character. Over time, they build a presence that others notice and respect, without a man having to boast or prove himself. Small choices matter because they set the tone for bigger ones. A man who cannot manage his morning routine will struggle to manage greater responsibility, while one who disciplines himself in minor tasks naturally prepares for major challenges. The way you carry yourself in small moments, showing up on time, speaking clearly, maintaining composure, signals reliability and strength. People instinctively trust and respect someone who consistently demonstrates these qualities, because consistency reveals character more than words ever could. The cumulative effect of these small habits is powerful. They may not yield instant results, but over weeks, months, and years, they transform a man into someone who is calm under pressure, confident in action, and respected in presence. This quiet transformation often goes unnoticed until it becomes undeniable. What began as small disciplined choices builds into an aura of authority and trustworthiness that others can sense. In the end, value is not raised by rare extraordinary acts, but by the ordinary actions done with discipline every day. Each small choice is like a brick, and together they build the structure of a man's reputation, confidence, and strength. It is in the little things that greatness is born. Respect is not something that can be demanded or bought. It is earned through consistent integrity and honesty in every aspect of life. A man who leads with integrity demonstrates that his words and actions align, and that he can be trusted even when no one is watching. This kind of reliability builds value because people naturally gravitate toward those they know are dependable. When others see a man keeping his promises, making fair decisions, and standing by his principles, they instinctively recognize strength of character. Integrity is a habit, not a momentary choice. It shows up in how a man treats others, how he handles challenges, and how he maintains his standards under pressure. Even small acts, like being truthful in difficult conversations, honoring commitments, and treating people respectfully, accumulate to form a reputation that commands respect. People respect a man who acts rightly even when it is inconvenient, because it proves he is guided by principle, not by temporary gain or fear of judgment. Leading with integrity also means being accountable for mistakes. A man who admits errors, learns from them, and takes corrective action demonstrates maturity and responsibility. This is far more impressive than one who hides failures or shifts blame. True value emerges from this consistent pattern of honesty, fairness, and moral courage. Ultimately, respect flows to those who live in alignment with their values. It is not about showing off strength or intimidating others. It is about creating a presence of trustworthiness and reliability. A man who cultivates integrity and accountability raises his value in ways that are permanent and visible to everyone around him. People may forget words or appearances, but they never forget a man who stands firm in his principles. Respect earned this way is unwavering and forms the foundation of true influence and leadership. Raising your value is not about seeking approval from others. It is about becoming someone who naturally inspires admiration through your actions and character. True impressiveness comes from self-improvement, discipline, and a commitment to excellence, not from trying to look important or impress people superficially. When a man focuses on becoming better, physically, mentally, and emotionally, he develops qualities that draw others toward him without effort. Investing in health, for example, shows that a man respects himself and his body. A strong, disciplined body reflects a strong, disciplined mind. Similarly, pursuing excellence in work or craft demonstrates dedication, intelligence, and competence, signaling that he is capable of achieving meaningful goals. Mental sharpness gained through learning and curiosity enhances problem-solving and confidence, making him someone others naturally trust and admire. Emotional resilience, too, creates a calm presence that attracts people because it provides stability and leadership. The key is that these improvements are done for oneself first, not for external validation. A man who trains, learns, and grows out of genuine commitment to himself develops an inner strength that cannot be faked. People sense authenticity and are drawn to it. They can tell when someone is improving for the sake of growth versus for applause. This kind of self-driven development builds real respect and influence. When a man focuses on becoming impressive rather than trying to impress, he removes the pressure of constantly seeking approval and instead cultivates confidence, capability, and integrity. His value rises naturally as others recognize his competence, discipline, and character. The transformation begins internally, and the external recognition follows. In essence, becoming impressive is about self-mastery and consistent growth, and that is the surest path to being truly valued by others. Growth is the foundation of true power, and it begins with demanding more from yourself than anyone else ever could. A man who commits to continuous improvement, physically, mentally, and emotionally, builds strength that cannot be taken away by circumstances or opinion. Growth is not a one-time achievement, but a daily process of pushing boundaries, learning from failures, and refining habits. Each step forward, no matter how small, compounds over time to create a level of capability and resilience that sets a man apart. The journey of growth requires self-discipline and the courage to face discomfort. It means embracing challenges rather than avoiding them, seeking feedback rather than ignoring it, and taking responsibility for mistakes instead of blaming others. A man who constantly strives to improve his skills, knowledge, and character demonstrates an inner drive that naturally raises his value. People are drawn to those who evolve because growth signals strength, adaptability, and a refusal to remain stagnant. Growth also builds confidence. When a man knows he is actively improving, he no longer depends on external validation. His sense of self-worth comes from his own efforts and accomplishments. This internal power radiates outward, influencing how others perceive him. The respect, trust, and influence he gains are the natural byproducts of consistent self-improvement. Ultimately, raising your value is inseparable from growth. A man who stops growing becomes predictable and loses his edge, while one who commits to lifelong improvement continues to expand his capabilities and impact. The process of growth strengthens resilience, sharpens judgment, and cultivates leadership. By embracing growth as a constant, a man develops the true power to shape his life, command respect, and leave a lasting influence on the world around him.